am going to present Bangladesh economy beyond Hartals and econometric analysis on temporal behavior on behalf of Professor Dr. Muhammad Sharif Hussain. After liberation war, due to political conflicts between ruling party and oppositions, Hartals and blockades are frequently taking place in Bangladesh. Recently, the problem has become more acute as the political turbulence has built up critical environment in the economy. The diffusion channels of Hartals are widespread, with impacts stretching from an ordinary seller's loss in regular sales to the annulment of business models. In proposition to Center for Policy Dialogue's views, in the early half of 2013, political turmoil is affecting negatively the economic channels, with real GDP growth now expected to come down to below 6% in fiscal year 2013. The credit rating agency Moody has noted that the frequent strikes with more common occurrences of violence are detrimental to the economy of Bangladesh. The data is 2013. An excerpt from Financial Express 2013. The economy is confronting a challenge of disaster due to Hartals, blockades, and political instability. Industrial sectors are going to take the path of stagnation. Speed of the financial transaction is slowing down. Many people, especially day laborers and seasonal workers, are losing engagement in work. As a result, gross interruption in work faces a mark of impairment in the pool of the economy. It is quoted by the President of the Federation of the Bangladesh Chambers of Commerce and Industry that political turmoil will depress the total economy by making adverse impact in economic growth. International trade would be hampered and foreign investors may turn into bank. From December 2012 to March 2013, 18% of the official working days saw Hartals. And according to a very elementary projection, each day of Hartal produced a loss of $200 million, totaling a loss of $3 billion in 4 months, enough to build a Padma bridge. The financial crisis 2013. Due to Hartals, the garment sector is losing about $18 million per day in Bangladesh. UNDP beyond Hartals 2005. This is the scenario of the Hartals from 1972 to 2014. Here we have seen in 1995 more occurrences of Hartal. It is almost more than 160 days. Here we have seen that percentage loss in GDP and percentage loss in export due to Hartals. Here, percentage loss in export. In recent years, Bangladesh has become more export oriented. As a result, each day of Hartal cost more day in export loss. From the figure, it can be said that due to Hartals, strikes and blockades, the loss of GDP export value as a percentage of GDP are increasing over time. The mean loss of GDP is 4.88% of the GDP, and the mean loss of export value is 0.4633% of GDP during 1972 to 2014. These losses comprise lost income, lost engagement in work and output, long-term effects because of decreased savings, capital losses, and turn-down profitability of business. Now, a question commonly arises on whether the negative impacts of Hartals and blockades on economic growth in Bangladesh is either statistically significant or not, in the short run and in the long run. To give the answer of this question, the principal objective has been made to investigate both the co-integration and causal relationship between Hartal and economic growth, including other macroeconomic variables, namely electricity consumption, domestic investment, trade openness, external debt, and corporate spending using modern econometric techniques based on time series data from 1972 to 2014. Review of literatures. A few literatures have been found. Someone has shown the impact of Hartals on foreign direct investment. Someone has shown the impact of output. For example, Kamal and Kaiser has shown the impact of Hartals on ready-made garments and export losses. Hassan and Iqbal has found significant economic and statistical impact of Hartals on export firms. I want to skip those two literatures. Still, according to the knowledge of the authors, no one has conducted the study to find the short-term and long-run impact of Hartals on Bangladesh economy using modern econometric techniques. Data and empirical model. Annual time series data from 1972 to 2014 are used in order to find the long-run and short-run impact of Hartals with other selected macroeconomic variables. The variables in the models are Hartals, per capita electricity consumption, kilowatt, domestic investment, trade openness, long-run external debt stocks and government spending, and economic growth. All variables data except Hartals have been collected from the World Bank Development Indicators. The data of Hartals have been collected from daily newspapers and several research reports. Data is empirical model. The long-run impacts of electricity consumption, domestic investment, trade openness, external debt, government spending, and Hartals and economic growth examined by considering the following model. Here the parameters beta 1, beta 2, beta 3, beta 4, beta 5 are the long-run elasticity of economic growth with respect to per capita electricity consumption, domestic investment, trade openness, external debt, and government expenditure respectively. Here we have not expressed Hartals in logarithmic forms because here beta 6 represent the percentage change in per capita GDP with respect to one-day increase in Hartals. And another reason is Hartals values might take zero values. That's why we have not used logarithm over here. The dynamic and co-integration causal relationship between electricity consumption, domestic investment, trade openness, long-term external debt, government spending, Hartals and economic growth has been investigated using advanced level econometric techniques. First of all, unit root test. First, the existence of unit root in each variable is examined. The popular tests, namely the Ackman Dickey folded test and three different tests have been applied in order to investigate whether each variable contains unit root or not. Here, pi sub t denotes variable under investigation. Under null hypothesis, under PDF test, is delta is equal to 0, whether there is unit root or non-stationary. Here, the result of unit root test, first one, the level form, and the second one is the difference form. Here, we have seen all variables are integrated of order 1. Co-integration analysis. At this stage, we have tried to know whether there is a long-run relationship among the variables. Here, we have found 3 co-integrating equations, suggested by trace statistic and maximum eigenvalue statistic. At this stage, we have tried to know the direction of causal relationship between the variables using Angel and Granger test. Due to the presence of co-integration relationship, the Ackman from Granger causality test involves the error correction term and has been formulated in a multivariate fifth order vector error correction mechanism, which is results of Granger causality. Here we have found that there is a unidirectional causality, short-run unidirectional causality running from per capita electricity consumption to per capita GDP, domestic investment to per capita GDP, and trade openness to per capita GDP, government expenditure to per capita GDP, Hartals to per capita GDP. And there is bidirectional causality running from trade openness to domestic investment, at the same time domestic investment to trade openness, Hartals to external debt and external debt to Hartals. Long-run causality, significance of error correction mechanisms when changes of long trade openness, long external debt, and government expenditure are treated endogenous variables, confirms the existence of long-run relationship among the variables in our long-run equation. The following long-run equation would be estimated by generalized method of movement approach. We have used this approach. First of all, it works to eliminate the endogeneity problem. If there is any serial correlation problem, this method also helps to fix out this problem. Here we have seen that the variable Hartals has negative impact on the economic growth. Unfortunately, it is insignificant. That's why we have conducted another study titled Short-Run and Long-Run Impact of Hartals on Bangladesh Economy, where we have used 3 explanatory variables: labor force, capital investment, and Hartals. In this paper, we have found the impact of Hartals on Bangladesh economy is significant, statistically significant. The short-run coefficients, in the short-run coefficients, we have seen that the variable external debt has negative impact on economic growth, and Hartals has positive impact on economic growth. Why? Why the Hartals has positive impact on economic growth? Due to the special care of the governments, people are more active, or due to the special care of the governments, people may safely go to the office, or may safely run out in the office. That's why it may occur, but it is not sustainable in the long run. In our previous short-term model, in the short-term model, we have seen that our model is suffering from autocorrelation problem. That's why we have estimated the model using another estimate the model by Cochrane organic iterative method. Here, we have seen that our error correction model coefficient is negative with expected sign. That means if our per capita GDP is beyond the equilibrium level, it will be adjusted by 22.77% the first year, and the full convergence process will take approximately 5 years to reach into the equilibrium. Therefore, the speed of adjustment is relatively high if there is any shock to the per capita GDP. Diagnostic test, there is no problem, autocorrelation, heteroscedasticity, and there is no
statistical.
Please. Okay, conclusion policy. It has been found that in Bangladesh the economic conditions improved with respect to electricity consumption, domestic investment, and trade openness. Because the long-run elasticity of economic with respect to electricity consumption, domestic investment, trade openness are higher than short-term elasticities. This means that over time, higher electricity consumption, domestic investment, trade openness give rise to more economic growth in Bangladesh. It has been found that the variable external debt, government spending, and Hartals are working as a barrier for economic growth in long run in Bangladesh. Hartal has positive impact on the short run. Policy changes, considering the explanatory variable of economic growth equation, will not cause major distortion in the level of economic growth. Since it has been found that the variable Hartal has negative impact in long run on economic growth, so all political parties should give up exercising such type of political activities, like Hartal strikes and blockades for the blessing of the people of the society. Political leaders have to resolve any kind of political problems on the basis of dialogue and consensus. All political parties of Bangladesh should exercise democratic rules and regulation, which plays significant role for sustainable economic growth and development. As a result, the standard of living of the people of Bangladesh will be increased. Thank you, everyone. That's all for my presentation.